Hello and welcome! It is Gauntlet of Greatness time once again. We're playing Historical Standard this season. It's week 2. That means we get to check out Group B. You ready for this, Shadow?
I am ready for Group B.
All right. First, just a quick reminder. We do have a Hall of Fame now for the Gauntlet of Greatness. We're on the 3rd season of Historical Standard, so a couple of decks are not going to be appearing in this season because, look, these decks are just too good. The Tolarian Academy deck is too good. The Memory Jar deck is too good. The Bargain deck earned its spot in the Hall of Fame by winning Season 2. There's Season 3 of Gauntlet of Greatness, Season 2 of Historical Standard. So they're gone. Group A, we played last week, these 4 decks, so now we're ready for Group B. The Skull is still around. Has to be one of the pre-tournament favorites at this point. The deck has a 2nd place. It has made the playoffs both seasons of Historical Standard. And you know what? You got a bunch of the other usual suspects in this group too. The Affinity deck has been floating around playoff contention. The Dragonstorm deck has made the playoffs. And the Jund deck hasn't looked great, but it has managed to avoid relegation pretty consistently. And yeah, it's funny. The deck is just, I think, better in Modern than it is in any one sort of 2-year window of Standard. So I've got the best window I can. Like, we basically started with a deck list that won the Pro Tour. Well, we'll see. We'll see how well it can compete in this group. So that's Group B. This week's matches are going to feature Necro against Dragonstorm and Affinity versus Jund. So what do we got? 14, 15 years of Standard represented across. Just so you guys know what's coming up, this is Group C, the Rebels deck that somehow never ever manages to get relegated despite looking like crap on paper. It's got a playoff run versus a little bit of new blood there in the Tarka Red. And then the Group D, some broken stuff going on here. We let the Stasis deck in for another season just because it's such a different take on how to play Magic. But Callblade's got to be the favorite in that group, with a little more of a recent run for Standard hanging out in Group D. Anyway, that's the setup. Let's take a look at some deck lists. Dragonstorm versus Necro. Here's the Dragonstorm deck. This deck won Worlds in the hands of Makihito Mahara in 2006. A different version of the Dragonstorm deck also made the finals of Worlds the next season, so you know this is a very powerful card. The basic strategy here is to just play enough rituals that you can play Dragonstorm for 4. 4 Bogardan Hellkites will win the game on the spot if you can, generate 3 Storm, cast Dragonstorm. That's your 4th copy of the spell. Seething Song, Rite of Flame can get you there. You've got Remand to buy time. Giga Drowse also buys time. Does a pretty nice job of buying time in the control matchups too, since you can just use Replicate to tap all their blue mana so they can't counterspell anything. Some setup, some backup dragons, some more mana acceleration, and go. It's a pretty good strategy. I gotta say though, I'm not sure it matches up particularly well against this one. Necropotence, one of the most powerful cards in the history of the game. I won a Pro Tour with this card. This is a very old school version of the deck, right? Necropotence in its later years turned into just a combo enabler. You necro up a handful of whatever, illusions, donate, whatever combo you happen to have, and win that way. This is much more the old school version. So this is circa 1996. You're playing Pump Knights. You're playing Hymn to Torok to knock cards out of their hand. Strip Mine was unrestricted at this point in time. Hypnotic Spectre can come out on the first turn with Dark Ritual. This is, one of the real classics in the history of Magic. And like we said, it's been doing pretty well in this tournament. It even knocked off the Academy deck the year Academy was in the playoffs, but has not won the tournament, has not earned its spot in the Hall of Fame yet. So I get to keep playing it. Shall we do it, Shadow?
Yeah. Right. Totally waiting to show you what kind of surprises I have up my sleeve for this matchup.
Fair enough. All right, let me set up a match. I'm going to play the Necro side. Constructed, getting serious, and I got to make sure we don't have to worry about clocks. All right, I get a match up. Come fight me. I will mute you on Skype, and we can chat more after the match. Good luck to you.
Good luck to you.
Yeah. Always fun. Always fun when you get to play with the Skull. All right. I even won the die roll. Yes. I would like to go first. I mean, I'm keeping this. Guess I turn 1 Ritual Necro? Like, I could go turn 1 Ritual Consult for him to Torok. I don't know if I need to do that. I mean, I think I just throw out Necro. I mean, I wish I had a Hypnotic Spectre. I would certainly consult to get a Hypnotic Spectre down. Yeah. I mean, honestly, this deck would rather go, Pump Knight, him to Torok, or, Ritual Hippie, whatever, and drop Necro on turn 3. But this is what the draw says to do. So, let's do it. I wonder if I should over Necro. I'm usually a fan, but I mean, I'm going to be potent for a number of turns. It's going to take me a little while to build up my mana base so that I can start firing off Drain Lives. So I'm tempted to stop at 3 cards. Next turn... I mean, if I don't draw a Ritual or a Pump Knight, I can't actually do anything next turn. Maybe we'll over Necro by 1. Alright, good enough. I don't know what my play is next turn. I want to make sure I come up with either a Pump Knight or a Dark Ritual. Blah. Interesting. I think I'm going to discard Consult number 2. And the first Consult has a decent chance of eating my library. I'm going to want these Drain Lives later. Alright. Alright. See what happens. I could discard Swamp there. I don't mind keeping 1 extra land. Like, certainly if I had 3 lands, I would keep 1, but by holding on to this Swamp, it lets me play a Swamp next turn and not have to over Necro, because I do have my land drop for the next turn. The interesting question is, what do I do next turn with this Demonic Consultation, right? I mean, I don't have anything to do in my hand unless I consult for something. So I could consult for Dark Ritual and then go Ritual Spectre. I could consult for Strip Mine and kill his Steam Vents. I think those are the obvious options. The problem with consulting for Ritual is that I've already used 1, so there's only 3 in my deck. That said, Hypnotic Spectre is just so absurdly good in this matchup. He doesn't even have a removal spell, right? He's got Giga Drowse as his answer. So, I mean, it's a little bit risky in that there's only 3 copies in my deck, but, I mean, I gotta do something this turn. Yeah, that just seems a ton better than Strip Mine. Especially because it uses more cards and sort of gives me more hand space to Necro into more options. Yeah, let's consult for Dark Ritual. Yeah, we're down to 14 cards in our library, so we lost a lot. That's a lot of cards. Oh god, there were 2 in the first 6? Is that what happened? Yeah, I guess the bottom cards are the cards I exiled first, so that is the last Dark Ritual. This game could get tricky. Yeah, that didn't work out great, not gonna lie. I need to over Necro when I have more life points than there are cards left in my library. I kind of want to make the use of all of them. Hopefully... Interesting. Alright, so we've got a Strip Mine, we've got a couple lands. Jeez. So, 1 Pump Knight, 2... 3... 4, 5. I think I haven't played this deck in a while. I think do I play 6 Pump Knights in this deck? Yeah, so there's 1 Pump Knight left. How many Hypnotic Spectres are left? I've got all the hippies left. Interesting. I just didn't hit any that turn. Yeah, I don't see any Hypnotic Spectres over there. Should be fine. I mean, if I'm able to rip his hand apart. We didn't do it. We didn't draw anything for this turn, though. I guess the play here is Strip Mine and then Necro some more. I mean, I want to make sure I keep him back. How many hymns? 1. I lost 2 Hymn to Torox. So I think I've got 3 hippies and 2 hymns in those last 11 cards. All of which would be great. Yeah, pretty sure I want Strip Mine. Yeah, sure, you can have a mana. Do I just Necro for 1 here? Do I Necro for 2? Yeah, this disc is pretty garbage. Like, I have held the disc initially thinking maybe I'm going to blow up my own Necro and get my draw step back, but, like, all of his dragons kill me with 187 when they come into play. Hypothetically, I could, like, try to disc away his Lotus Bloom, but that's not happening. I can discard this disc. Alright, we'll Necro for 2. Down to 9 cards in library. Definitely would like a hymn or a hippie. Or a Pump Knight. It's just like, okay, there's the hippie for next turn and the Pump Knight. Great. You always get your money's worth with this deck. Demonic Consultations make me feel like I get my money's worth. Yeah, I'm definitely hoping Hypnotic Spectre tears his hand apart enough that we basically lock him with no ability to do anything. Him would have been nice. What are you going to do? We'll settle for Hypnotic Spectre. Let's get 5 cards in his hand right now. Bang. Got Steam Vents. Down to 4 cards. I guess the Lotus Bloom is about to suspend itself. Yeah, he's got to remand. Awkward. What are you going to do? This is the turn. Like, can he... If he's holding, like, Ritual Dragonstorm, this could be bad. I don't think I did anything wrong. Like, I stripped him. I hit him with Hypnotic Spectre twice. He's suspending a new Lotus Bloom. That's good for us. Right, he's got 3, 4, 5. If he's got... What does he need? 2 Rituals and a Dragonstorm in his 4 cards is bad for us. If he doesn't have that, though, it becomes harder and harder for him to get that as I hit him with Hypnotic Spectre and then hopefully start hitting him with 2 Hypnotic Spectres. He's going to play a land. Yeah, he doesn't have the rituals he needs. Great. Oh, is this Giga Drow's time? Yeah, this could be Giga Drow's. Oh, Giga Drow's is actually kind of annoying in that he can tap my swamps. I mean, hypothetically, I could have done that first main phase, but he should have done this upkeep, so I'm not going to feel bad about it. Like, if his play was to tap my swamps, he should have done this in my upkeep. Which is a solid play. Alright, 2 cards in his hand, up to 3. 6 mana, so he is at the point now where 1 ritual might actually be good enough. Crazy, is he at the point where... Oh, I literally forgot to Necro. Hilarious. Yeah, I can turn off my Facebook. Sorry about the alerts, guys. 2 cards in his hand. What do we hit? We hit the Dragonstorm. I'm going to guess that's good for us. Alright, I don't want to die to 1 6-power Hasty Dragon. I think I can go to 7? No, he's paying for that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Spoken in Hellkite. Last card out of his hand is hard cast Bogardan and Hellkite. He got there. Awkward. I mean, our draw was pretty bad, right? I necroed into all 4 drain lives. I lost most of my library. I guess, what, if I'd consulted for a strip mine instead, maybe that was good? I mean, he should just eat my board here, right? I can only drain life for 2. Man, this is the place where I kind of would want to disc. We're going to lose this game. Crazy. I mean, we just lose. How can I not lose? So I let him hit me to 1. Pretty sure. I can drain for 3. Which puts me at 4. Then I chump block. I drain for 3. And then I take a hit and I drain for 3. Does that work? He's once again at 0 cards in hand. Yeah, I mean, I think my play is... hope I get to drain life him for 3 turns in a row. Alright, so now I'm going to have to chump block. I die to Giga Drowse. And then I'm going to be draining him for 3 up to 7, so I can afford to Necro for 1 card. Be at 6 and take a hit. Makes sense to me. Yeah, consult with 3 cards left in my library. That's exciting. This game's close. I just need to fade his next turn. Well, I need him to not have drawn a remand. Come on. So close. Yeah. I mean, if I get to untap and drain life him. Come on, 1 draw step. Hold. Hold. Oh, he's tapping mana. He's got another dragon. Ugh. I earned this game. Did everything right, more or less. Damn it. Haste is the real problem here. Yep, he needed to top deck a dragon, and he did. It's a good game. Ah, man. That consult did not work out. So, are any of these cards any good against him? His cards are not white. His cards are not green or white. Icequake is not crazy, actually. Like, am I really going to win a game where Nevinyrral's Disking Away Dragons comes up? That just doesn't feel like a game I'm going to win. And, like, Disking Away my Necro doesn't feel like a game I'm going to win either. I mean, maybe I want another land with the Mishra. I don't think Contagion is going to do much against him. I mean, again, it's like, can I really win a game where he gets a dragon into play? This is not likely. Man. This would be quite the upset. Alright. What? I'm at 60 with 1 Contagion. I mean, I guess 1 disc is more likely to work out than 1 Contagion. Sure. Alright, yeah, I mean, I think this is the right way to set it up against him. Oh, this is not a practice match. My apologies. Uncheck that. This is the real thing. Yeah, no practice match. This counts. We're 1 game away from the surprise upset. That draw's pretty good. Now this first turn Necro feels even better to me, because I get to follow it up with a turn 2 him. Ritual would give me an additional him. Yeah, I think this is just Ritual Necro. I mean, I could go Ritual him on turn 2, but then I'm counting on drawing a swamp for turn 3. No, I got plenty of life to play with. This should work. Like, I got pretty unlucky last game, in my opinion. This should work. Ivory Tower is pretty good. Interesting. I mean, it really wants to be turn 2 him into turn 3 hippie. Which I don't even know that I bother with the Ivory Tower. I mean, it's not as good a play as turn 2 him. It's not even close. Maybe my turn 3 is him tower instead of Hypnotic Spectre? That's probably what I do. There is a Lotus Bloom ticking down. Alright, this is him to rock. We get a land and a sleight of hand. I mean, I already have 2 good options for next turn, so I don't feel the need to over Necro. I mean, would have been mildly nice to find a Dark Ritual, but it's alright. Interesting. So he's got Remand mana. Which definitely makes me want to do 2 things. Which is the bait, though? The Ivory Tower? Yeah, I think the Ivory Tower is the bait. I care more about resolving him to Torok. Sweet. We get a dragon and a Seething Song. I have a good play for next turn, so I don't think I need to over Necro. I do have 3 swamps, though. I'm going to over Necro by 1. Yeah, that looks better. I'll have to find a strip mine. Zeranorm's not terrible. There's actual 0 use for this Necro, so we can keep all the extra lands. Alright. Lotus Bloom is going to go off next turn. He wanted to land. Gains 3 life, that's great. Obviously, Ivory Tower giving me 3 life a turn. Pretty nice with Necro. So the interesting question here is, which is more disruptive, Icequake or Hypnotic Spectre? And I actually think the answer might be Icequake. I mean, if I summon a Hypnotic Spectre, it doesn't do anything to disrupt his ability to win next turn. He's going to Lotus Bloom, that's 6. Yeah, I think the Icequake is actually worse for him. Let's kill a mana right now. 1, 2, 3. Do I want to over Necro by 1? Yes. Time to find a drain life, not gonna lie. Alright. I mean, I've got all the mana I need. I've got all the life gain I need to just play lands and keep drawing cards. What can he do this turn? I mean, this is the scary turn, right? Sleight of Hand. It's a Storm count. 2 cards plus the card he gets from Sleight of Hand? Ritual Dragonstorm? No? Good. Although, you know, I don't have anything that disrupts him here. This is just 2 Hypnotic Spectres. So he gets 1 more turn. Is it possible I should have been even more aggressive with the Necros? I was over Necroing. Maybe. The thing is, this deck does actually need turns to attack with creatures, so there's a limit to the amount you want to do. Being at 7 means you can't kill me with 1 dragon, so that number was chosen on purpose. Alright, this should be his last realistic window. Oh, seriously? He brought Pyroclasm in against me. Alright. That's annoying. He brought Pyroclasm in against me. I mean, I guess it's a card that doesn't kill me. I mean, doesn't, yeah, help his combo. Hilarious. So I can drain for 6. Or I can play 2 Pump Knights. Oh, I can also consult for Strip Mine, except I just played a land. I should have consulted for Strip Mine here. I can consult for him. No, I've used 2 of those. I think I was supposed to consult for Strip Mine, but I obviously needed to do that before I played a land. I'm not consulting for him when there's only 2 in my deck. Yeah, I should have consulted for strip mine, but I didn't think of it in time. So, let's just do this. So I consult for strip end step. That's gotta be right. Well, all right, that worked out fine. We lost one of the hymns, we lost one of the drains, one of the hippies, still a little bit of everything, but we only lost 10 cards is the important thing. So then what? Is it ritual drain time? Probably is. I mean, I'm either pumping my pump knights or I'm draining him. Draining him feels slightly better. Alright, if I sink a ritual in, then it's drained for 6. So I deal 10 damage this turn. Seems decent. Alright, draining for 6. Necro. 4 cards. Kind of don't want to die to 2 dragons at this point. I think that's reasonable. Possible that 5 is better? I mean, I do have a Zuran Orb. Maybe I should have gone 5 cards. I only have 17 left in my library. Found a drain, but not a ritual. Swamp, right? No, it's consult. I can't consult in the 17-card library. I hate these single demonic consultation games. Should get to consult twice. I can put him at 1. Seriously? Seriously. That's 9. That's Dragonstorm for 3. He's gonna win. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Wow. I never necroed into a strip mine. I guess I didn't find any additional hymns. I did use my consult for strip. Like, there was not enough library to consult for strip mine twice. Can I still win this? With, like, Zuran Orb to stay alive? And then drain and the necro into a drain? Seems hard. Oh, he's gonna go hunt dragon. Interesting. I guess that makes me sack 2 lands. Gain 3 that way. So I can drain him for 3, but I'm facing 16. I can play a disc, but it comes into play tapped. I can play a Hypnotic Spectre. Ugh. So if I play a disc and then sack and gain 10, does that work? It doesn't. I take 16 and I'm at 15. Holy shit. He wins. Yeah, my tap disc doesn't get there. Unbelievable. Dragonstorm. It just keeps hanging around and knocking people off. Wow. Crazy. Good game, Shadow. You got it.
That seems insane to me.
It seems insane to me, too.
I told Elaine to shut the door because we were about to talk because that was an upset.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
wow.
I didn't draw particularly well. I mean, I think that in the first game, I obviously consulted away most of my library, and so I wasn't able to sort of find the disruption spells. I don't know. Second game, I could have consulted for Strip Mine a turn earlier, should have consulted for Strip Mine a turn earlier, but it wouldn't have changed anything. Because you still would have had the same amount of lands by the time you actually went there.
Yeah.
Pyroclasm is key. That was a nice sideboard.
Yeah. Pyroclasm, so I took out Giga Drowse because what was the point other than to kill your things? So I pulled in 3 Pyroclasms because all I had.
Yeah.
And then 3, I don't even know the name of the card, but I can discard my hand or I can hide my hand for a turn and then draw an extra card.
Right.
Yeah, I was looking forward to surprising you with that next game, but we never got there. Good game, sir. Good game.
Ignorant Bliss is the name of that card. Exile all cards from your hand face down. At the beginning of your next end step, return those cards to your hand and then draw a card.
Yep.
Ignorant Bliss. Funny.
Yeah, so that was my game, right? So I took out Giga Drowses and I think 2 remands in order to get those in there because I was just remanding your hand destruction anyway. So sure. I'm just like, all right, I'm just gonna try see what I can do with this. None of those cards mattered. All that mattered was that your deck is a little slow
to actually win the game, right? I mean, yeah. I do a bunch of disruption, and like each game, you were sort of right on the edge of even mathematically being able to stitch together a win, but then like you stitched together exactly what you needed to exactly win.
Oh, I got so lucky that last game, right? The first game, like. I cast the dude, and then I start attacking, and then you start draining life in me every turn.
Yes.
And I'm like, well, I'm going to need some damage. Hey, look, I found some damage.
I thought I had that first game. That's right. Because I had the drain life for 3 times plan. Like, 1 chump block would buy me the time to drain you for 3 times. And just barely outrace the dragon. But no.
Yeah, I assume that's what you had because I could see your entire deck.
Yeah. I have 2 cards left in my library. Yeah, but yes, there's a drain life in my hand at the end.
Yeah. But, like, you'd gotten rid of all your Dark Writs. Yeah. So I was like, all right, maybe I've got a chance.
Yeah, it was not a good consult. I mean, both games I only got to consult once because I lost too much library, but I don't know, in the second game, I only lost like 10 cards to the consult. I just drew them all. I was like necroing for 4 every turn from turn 1, and it's just, like, the strip mines were all hanging out at the bottom of my deck, and I brought in 3 Ice Quakes. Which also...
Oh, that Ice Quake was so painful.
I know. I needed to draw another one. If I draw a second strip... Well, if I draw a first strip, other than the one I consulted for, or draw a second Ice Quake, then, like, sure. You were so on the edge, but instead I drew a bunch of darky creatures. You Pyroclasm both hippies, and then, like...
Oh, that was so good. That was a good turn.
It was a good turn. And the Pump Knights take a couple turns. Like, I had it set up where the Pump Knights was, like, Pump Knights and Drain. It was going to take 2 or 3 turns to kill you, and just got there.
Yeah, like, I knew exactly where we were going, right? My Telling Time put a Seething Song on top, and I had one in my hand, and I'm like, well, if he can't disrupt me this turn, And then you stripped, and I'm like, nope, I had one extra land. I had one extra mana, I'm good. And
yeah. Necro into another one. I was necroing down to 7 because then I don't die to 1 dragon if you just manage to, like, summon one. Keep saying summon. We're playing decks from the 90s. I'm allowed to say summon, right?
You are allowed to say summon.
I think the English word works anyway.
So, I had to go find the hunted dragon at the end because I was all out of the other dragons. I had one in my hand and one in the yard.
Okay. Yeah. It actually made me sack an extra land. Because it hits me for 6 instead of 5 on that turn. I was at 4 with Zernorb.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I knew your Zernorb meant that it was going to be 2 turns anyway, and I didn't want you to get a whole bunch of those things on the table.
I could almost play Nevi's Disc. Like, I could Nevinyr's Disc, sack 5 lands to Zern. On the last turn, you were going to attack me for 16. I could play a tap Disc, sacrifice 5 lands, get to 15, but you attack me for 16. It's funny.
Yeah, well, it's not like your 2 knights would have gotten there, though. Or your 3 knights wouldn't have gotten there.
I mean, the Disc blows them up, too.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, that was a fun matchup. It'll give us something to talk to Ed about tonight during Agricola. So
that was fun.
That was a good